Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Journeyman project, Pegasus Prime. Last time we finished up the Mars colony and got a whole bunch of cool things, including an optical memory of the robot Ares, who pretty much went into, Dr. Sinclair is behind everything. We need more evidence though. But we also got a nice shield biochip, which is an interesting thing. Let's take a look at it. It creates a hypertonic shield around the user, which protects from environmental conditions and other physiological hazards. This kind of biochip was would have been important when we were doing our mastermind puzzle in order to get our card bomb. Didn't absolutely need it, but we will in the near future. Now, the interesting thing about the map right here is that we see that it's the Mars colony is resolved. However, we still have the option in order to jump back if we so wish. Anyway, our next destination is returning to the World Science Center in Australia, because we have a bunch of different things that we can use, including a nice office keycard to Sinclair's office in the center. So, we're going to find that. We're going to also find that robot who poisoned us at the very beginning. And, well, actually we might meet him again because of how time travel works. Because we only have those coordinates, don't we? Oh boy, okay, better get ready for that. But otherwise, we are here to stop an assassination, ultimately. Let's do it. Yeah, that's just really unfortunate for me.
Agent 5, you have just been shot with a dart coated with an unknown toxin. Your vital signs are beginning to fluctuate.
I know that. Well, unfortunately, I do have to still remove it, which means I think that, yeah, that access card is gonna have to go. Luckily, we don't have to go to the Mars colony anymore.
Your biosuit was able to filter out all but 7 micrograms of the toxin. The substance is a lethal neurotoxin and must be neutralized quickly, or you will perish.
Well, luckily for me, in my inventory, I already have an antidote, so I don't need to do that again. Good. However, I still have a tranquilizer dart that really doesn't have a purpose here, so I'm just going to go ahead and activate the compound analyzer
to be analyzed into the analysis chamber
and throw it in there.
Nucleonic compound
it frees up a space.
SL100A. Assessing polarity, checking for nuclear emissions, evaluating molecular structure, scanning polypeptide chains. Chemical, complex dihydrogenate-based liquid tranquilizer. Sending analysis information to molecular compositor.
Alright, getting rid of that, now that we have a free space in our inventory, means that we can keep all of our wonderful other things that we have. Yay! I don't want to see other things disappear into the ether, is pretty much what I want to do. But it makes all this lab pretty much, not helpful to us. So now, we get to go ahead and go outside. But before we go outside, we need to make sure that we know where we are.
You are in the Molecular Biology Laboratory in Research Wing S4C of the World Science Center, New Sydney, Australia.
Okay. I don't know how big this science center is going to be, so it's good to have a nice, good starting position. Those good goo doors. What decided people to actually make those goo doors? And come to think of it, that robot is in a really weird spot, especially because he morphs into the guy after he shoots us. You think that he would have just stayed in his form beforehand. And how long was he waiting there, and how did he know that that would be the coordinates that I would get? Too many holes. Okay. Let's, okay, we're gonna have to be careful now because, the World Science Center has people. It didn't Turbo?
All conference attendees must check in at the main reception in the auditorium complex.
And there technically are a lot more.
Biorhythms of life forms detected nearby. Extreme caution advised.
In this game. There are a lot of ways to get to the same death screen in this game, and it's actually quite impressive the amount of times that they try to do that. But before we do that, we might as well get our bearings. Believe it or not, this is a screen. Here is where we are. We're at the, I guess, northwestern part of the research wing, if this is the right compass direction, and we came out of Lab B? Yeah, so storage was right next to us, and then we have a whole bunch of different areas. Hernandez, Washington, Nakamura, Sullivan, and Sinclair, who's right down here. So, that's going to be our first destination, is to go down the other hallway and get there. Sounds good? We just have to be careful that, things are not going to pop in on us.
Dr. Hernandez is currently at the conference. Keycard is required for entry.
Yeah, all of these doctors' offices do require key cards. For all of them. Unfortunately. However...
Dr. Elliot Sinclair is currently at the conference. Keycard is required for entry.
Well, lucky me, look what I have. What did I use it on, though? It just kind of floated there for no particular reason. I do like this music, though. Pretty calming. Alright, let's take a look around and see what we got here. The debate to join the symbiotry of peaceful beings. Okay, I put a note when I was talking about this specific time zone being a, kind of its own kind of deal, involving the message that was received in 2308, despite being altered or unaltered. Either the "you're not ready" or the invitation to the symbiotry. I might be a little bit wrong in that area, because this is very specific for the debate to join the symbiotry. So this seems to... It's messy. It's a little bit messy, because it means that this is almost like this split area where we're in the unaffected time stream. A little bit. So the other two rips, and what happened there, and the "you're not ready" message do not apply to this rip in the time stream. Which is, it's strange. Also, it's Castillo, not Castile. And then we have the bunch of different doctors down there. You might notice that a lot of the staff are also down here. And this guy, too. The other thing is that Sinclair carries a snake. Or cares for a snake. Yeah, he carries it with him. Wears it around his neck. I see that. He also has a melon. I want to interact with this melon, but I can't. Not even in an Easter egg form. I cannot do anything with that thing, and I'm so annoyed. Now, in the lab that we started in, there was a little thing like this saying that the messages had been forwarded to his office. Now, we can look at them. Candace White and Sabrina Walchuk. Sabrina is a new character. Candace White, though, is our wonderful molecule lady who is that one bust with the very serious eyes.
Hello, Elliot. This is Dr. White again. I still haven't received results from those morphine tests that I needed the other day. I know you're as excited about this breakthrough as I am, but if you expect to get any credit in the upcoming scientific journal, I'll need to see some practical work from you very soon. Give me a call.
What accent are you going for, lady? Sounds a little Welsh. The other day. Oh, I can do it too. Let's just do the rest of the video like this.
Hello, Elliot. This is Dr. Walczek. I'm calling to check up on our progress after the neurotransmitter equalizer that I prescribed. I'm afraid that the stress you are under may be a bit much even for this increased dosage. But still take only 2 a day, even if you are experiencing the anxiety attacks or rapid mood swings like we had last week. But I'm sure you'll be just fine.
Sometimes it's just charming, the accents. Sometimes they're laid on a little thick. But this is an important piece of information. Minor, but we're going to see it pop up later. In terms of he's on meds for severe anxiety and mood swings, and there might be some psychological business going on. Yes, for Sinclair, in terms of science and what he now is the father of, yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen. Alright. Let's see here. We also have this thing down here.
Welcome to the Symposium on Alien Contact at the World Science Centre in Sydney, Australia. The primary purpose of this conference is to allow the scientific community a forum to exchange ideas and opinions about joining the symbiotry of peaceful beings. The primary debate will take place in the main auditorium complex on Wednesday at 9 o'clock, with keynote speakers and world-renowned scientists Dr. Elliot Sinclair and Dr. Enrique Castillo. The debate will be followed by meetings in conference rooms where the many discussions revolving around this volatile issue will be held. Information on discussion groups will be available at the conference check-in at the entrance of the main auditorium. Accommodations are being provided at the new Sydney Metrocosmopolitan Hotel by the shuttle port in New Darling Harbour. Thank you. Have a wonderful conference.
Yeah. He's like, okay, I kind of do a good job, and then it's just like, yeah, have a wonderful conference. Yeah, so it kind of blows my theory out of the water from earlier. That it's like, because you're not ready means nothing about talking about the symbiotry of peaceful beings. How could they possibly know about it if that's the only message from aliens that they got? Then again, if you're going to do something like that, a conference like this could be held just more in a general standpoint in terms of how to deal with aliens versus whether or not to do it at all. A couple more things that are in this office, including Discovery! Discovery! I love it! Let's look at some things from the last 3 years. One journal entry per year, pretty much. One on smart alloys, morphing, and time bending. If we're going to learn a little bit more about Elliot Sinclair, it's best to start here.
I had an interesting thought today while working on the contact-sensitive smart alloys project. It's given that all elements behave in a manner that is consistent with their atomic properties. For example, it is consistent for manganese to bond with barium cobalt in a very particular way under certain conditions. In a sense, these universal instruction sets are similar to the DNA which regulates the behavior of all cells in biological organisms. This being the case, it's conceivable that any non-organic matter can be programmed to respond at the molecular level to a set of predetermined instructions and instruction codes. So imagine a lamp which upon command could take the form of a chair, a table, or even a work of art. The possibilities are infinite. I'm confident that a proposal to do further research in this direction will be met with approval.
Yes, so this is what we were seeing in the lab. The ability for smart alloys to take any sort of shape or form, whether it be a bust or a lamp. It also doesn't really show that what happens with the argon, but maybe the morphing process will put a little bit more detail into that.
This month has been fraught with discoveries about the morphing process. We learned how to morph all of the elements, but only after we realized that a certain few of them are immutable, specifically the inert gases like argon and krypton, well, because of their unique electrochemical properties, they simply are immutable. Even worse, these elements actually interfere with the bonding of surrounding molecules and bring the whole process to a halt. On the plus side, we have also discovered that if proper care is taken, even organic matter could foreseeably be altered in form.
Alright. So there you go. Inert gases like argon, krypton, xenon, I'm missing a couple that are on the right side of the periodic table of elements, interfere with the morphing process that we were seeing in that lab. So, depending on smart alloys, there is a way to stop the morphing process. And might mess up whatever creation that you're doing. Thinking about organic matter being able to morph is certainly something that is going to be handled with extreme care, because it's very easy for that to go completely awry and make terrible, terrible things. But then, the year before now, in 2310, 2309, he has one on time bending.
This journal is, beyond a doubt, the most important of my career, as today marks my first success in the application of time distortion theory. By creating a localized neutrino acceleration matrix, I was able to bend time for just a fraction of a second. Anything entering into the distortion field slipped back in time for just a moment, creating a visual effect similar to light refraction in water in a swimming pool. It may not seem like much, but it's truly more than any physicist could hope to achieve in a lifetime. And while it may be eons before there's any practical application of this theory, everything great was achieved one small step at a time, and this is definitely the first step.
Certainly is. Little did he know that it wasn't going to be eons before practical applications. It was going to be just a few more years after that tiny little fraction of a jump that now we're able to go back all the way to dinosaur times and do things, as well as, well, in the result, defend time. Time travel just went completely out of control, more than he ever thought was ever going to happen, and that leads us here. Alright. It is now safe to shut off your system. I like that too. Now, there is an interesting thing, one last thing in this office, and it actually has to do with, well, you see the nice sword over there, but what is over top of it that we can also grab?
Agent 5. Do not disturb the current environment and possibly the current time stream without extreme cause. Also, as a TSA agent, you are forbidden to carry lethal weapons under Protocol 37.
Okay, fine, AI. I wanted to have some little fun with this assault rifle that apparently Sinclair keeps with him, which is from the late 20th century. Interesting, so it's from the 1990s. Presumably. An M16A assault rifle with an M203 grenade launcher. I'm not a firearms expert, but I've seen other people who have seen this combination and I've started laughing. So, there you go. It's also in mint condition. Yeah, so he's a... I wouldn't say that he's even a collector. I think he just liked this particular gun. But yeah, we can't use it. Especially if we were to go into our biochips and just go back to Pegasus with this gun.
Agent 5, Protocol 37, initiated time travel disabled. Return unauthorized item to original location.
Yes, unfortunately, we need to give it back, and we can't have fun with it. And we can't even take the katana. You can stroke it, though. Stroke it. Okay. But there is a thing that I want to show off with this gun. It's not here just because it's cool. It's partly here because it's cool. but there is a reason why it's here. Just kind of like the gas canister. And it has to do with a death. I will be showing off this death in the death reel for this, but I feel like it's too good an opportunity to pass up in order to show it off in the main video, so I'm going to do it there too. Just because we can't recall and jump out with the assault rifle in hand, I keep calling it a machine gun, but it's an assault rifle. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the M in M16. But we can move around with it.
Oh, Dr. Sinclair! Say, why are you bringing your antique elephant gun out of your office? You're not Elliot! Security! Security! Don't shoot the man with the glasses!
Oh no, help me, somebody help me. Oh boy, yeah, so there you go, there you have it. Yeah, that's a thing. I like it a whole lot. Certainly an excellent thing to do with the elephant gun on our separate little playthrough here, but we're gonna come back to this without the assault rifle, and we're gonna continue on. Alright, let's put away that machine gun. Alright, let's properly get out of the office, because there's not much more to do. Sorry, machine gun. Sorry, Melon. I want to take you to...
Oh, Dr. Sinclair! Aren't you speaking at the conference right now? Wait a minute, if you were speaking at the conference, you wouldn't be here! Sometimes I just think too much. Goodbye, Dr. Sinclair, and don't eat anything toxic now.
Okay, I won't. I do like that guy a lot. I like that he has two different things, so it's like you're guaranteed to meet him if you go into the office at all. But anyway, with that out of the way and some new information to put on in the back of our heads...
This laboratory is open to authorized personnel only.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot else we can do in terms of doors. Unless we want to find ourselves, finding death around every corner. So where do we go from here? Well, if we're trying to stop the assassination of Enrique Castillo, we need to find out where the main conference hall is going to be. Or the main auditorium, anyways. It looks like it's just right off of here, because all of the wings come off of the center. So it should be the door just right behind us here.
Dr. Thompson, please report to conference check-in in auditorium complex.
Nicky.
This door appears to be lodged shut from the inside. With an added amount of leverage, this door may be pried open.
Interesting. Well, we totally need to pry it open with what else but our power crowbar. Kind of weird that's like, when they showed the thermal scan, I have no idea what was going on, what the issue was. This is actually a little bit more clear in detail for me, so thanks, game.
Detecting buildup of a high-energy plasma field. Recommend activation of the shield biochip.
Really? Well, I don't believe you. Nuts to you, AI. Oh dear. Got quite the weapon, doesn't he? Oh, this is a mistake. Wow, that took a chunk out of our energy. So yeah, she recommends that you use the shield biochip, and it just so happens that we do. You'll still take a hit to the energy, but not as much. And pretty honest, like, this is not the reason why you have the shield biochip. You can survive it very easily. The other thing that is a little bit disorienting about this is that this particular hallway, you only get two directions that you can go. You can either go down the hallway or back through the door, which you can see has little tiny holes in it, which is kind of cool. You can go through the door, but if you try to come through again, you also have to pry it open again with a crowbar, so it's only a matter of time before somebody realizes that that door is not going to work, and people are trapped in that research wing. Going in the direction of my shooter. Do-do-do. My beautiful balloon. Alright. Welcome to the main auditorium. Okay, so what can we do here? Well, this is for
Biorhythms of life forms detected nearby. Extreme caution advised.
Well, this is as far as we are able to go, but that doesn't mean that we can't hear the conference in action.
Every instinct tells me that this is nothing but lies and deceits. We need to look no further than at our own history to see that the outstretched hand of peace inevitably falls into the fist of war. The alien alliance known as the Symbiotry tells us that they only desire peace, but what guarantee do we have that these supposed ambassadors of goodwill are not merely concealing their true, aggressive intentions? Well, once they have secured our trust, and we have let down our defenses, what is to stop them from invading Earth? How can we ensure the safety of our planet or the future of our children if we blindly open our arms and welcome into our world strange races about which we know nothing? The human race has conquered and mastered this world for thousands of years. We have triumphed because of our power and our technology. We have proven ourselves superior. And now, wouldn't it be ironic if we handed to these aliens the technology that they someday will use and turn on us in acts of war and aggression? We must make sure that the planet Earth never succumbs to hostile invaders. And that is why I beg, no, I demand that the Council refuse the Symbiotry the requested exchange of information and unequivocally reject the bid for membership into the Symbiotry. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sinclair. We will be taking a short break while we prepare for our next speaker, Dr. Enrique Castillo, who will deliver a rebuttal to Dr. Sinclair's speech.
Wow. Quite the speech. Too bad we don't really get to hear Castillo's, I guess, because, well, once he goes on stage, he's gonna be shot, so we gotta find him. Or find a way to him. Going forward is not going to be an option for us because I don't think going through the front doors is going to help us. We need to find out where this guy is.
Biorhythms of life forms detected nearby. Extreme caution advised.
So if I were an assassin, where would I be in order to make sure that I hit my target, but I don't know, nobody knows where I am or who I am, so that the killer remains large? Well, recess, half recess a little bit. Can't go back that way, so let's try the other way. Now, if you were playing Turbo, you would be looking for a very specific door. And that door is specific simply because it is a different color. Nothing going on with that door. But you would technically be looking for this door, a purple door. Fortunately, we can't do anything with it. So what does that mean? Let's try another color, shall we? How about blue? It's also darker. Luckily, we have a handy-dandy light. And that's how we're able to get through this rather strange area, kind of in the back of the main auditorium. It's like this isn't a catwalk. It feels like more of like a VIP area that you would go through, like in a nightclub. I know nothing about nightclubs. But yeah, it's just kind of strange and out of place. Like, this should be almost like a catwalk, which I believe that's what it looks like outside, but I'm not sure about that either. I don't know. It feels like they wanted to shoehorn in another way to use the light on our keyring. Because as soon as it starts, it's over. And with that, we are on the other side of the main auditorium, I presume.
Agent 5. A strong temporal flux has been detected. Extreme caution advised.
Okay. So, like the flux with the shield generator, now our flux is beyond this door. Now I have a feeling we're gonna not have a whole lot of time to deal with anything, so we have to think fast here. There isn't a whole lot of time like there is in Turbo in order to figure out what you're gonna do here, and especially for the way we're gonna be taking down our assassin. So if you remember from Sinclair's office, we're dealing with a robot that is made up of smart alloy, and it has the ability to morph. So what do we have in our inventory that involves inert gases that we could possibly use against a robot? Argon. That is going to be our tool. The solution to this puzzle, this final puzzle, is a little bit strange because I feel like the Turbo way of doing it, which involved wire cutters and using the argon sprinklers, this little thing on the left, is a lot better.
Please welcome Dr. Enrique Castillo.
Like the guy still sounds bored, but not a whole lot of time, so we get to see an argon canister picture splattered against the screen, blocking out his morphing, and taking him down.
Agent 5. Recommend that you proceed with the removal of the robot's biochips before initiating auto recall.
Gotcha. Okay, let's see what we can get here. We have another mapping biochip. We have a retinal biochip. Hey! And Mercury's optical memory. We also have something else that was left behind. His handy dandy weapon. Stun gun. So now the World Science Center is done. Let's check out that optical memory of Mercury's.
Mercury, I'm sending you to eliminate my adversary, Enrique Castillo, who thought he was doing the world such a favor, convincing them that I was insane to fear alien contact. Well, I'm not the one. I'm not the one who's inviting death into my home. The only place I can be sure of finding him is on stage at the Alien Contact Rally 8 years ago, so I'm sending you to the World Science Center in the year 2310. Try to make his death look accidental, but whether or not you succeed at that, do everything you have to ensure his demise.
Well, so much for making his death look accidental, like Sinclair wanted. Instead, he just went straight for, well, there's no real good way of doing this. Let's just shoot him in front of a whole bunch of people. He got the message across, but certainly a little bit more malicious that way. Anyway, 2 rips down, 1 to go. So next time, we're going to be going back to NORAD 6, out of the first room, like we did with the World Science Center, and exploring the base. We kind of have a path already. We know where we're going. Let's just get there and try to stop a missile launch. See you next time, everyone.